Ever feel like you're just drowning in information, constantly seeing headlines, updates, but what you really want is just to get what's actually important?
Yeah, totally. That feeling of overload is real.
Well, that's kind of the whole point of the deep dive. You send us your research articles, links, notes, whatever, and we try to pull out the core stuff for you, the key insights.
And today we're diving into something pretty exciting based on what listeners sent over. It's this convergence, maybe, of Google's Android XR platform, Samsung's Project Muhan headset.
Intriguing name.
Right. And, of course, Google's Gemini AI. All the signs seem to be pointing towards 2025 being a really big year for changing how businesses work, how we work, really.
Productivity boosts.
Potentially huge ones.
Yeah.
We've looked through the articles focusing on these upcoming XR tech developments, try and, boil it down.
Exactly. And our mission here isn't just to repeat the hype. We want to get into the practical side, maybe the surprising bits, the things that could genuinely change how companies operate.
The game changers.
Yeah. How this stuff could really enhance how we all get things done. Okay, let's unpack this.
All right, let's kick off with Android XR. The big picture here seems to be Google wanting to make this kind of immersive tech, normal in the workplace, like a standard tool.
Okay.
It's designed as an open, scalable OS, so adaptable, for different kinds of XR gear, AR glasses, VR headsets, the whole range.
So kind of like Android on our phones, but built specifically for this spatial computing world.
Pretty much, yeah. But tailored for 3D environments, spatial awareness, different inputs.
And it sounds like they're really trying to make it easier for developers to actually build things for it, right? Supporting the tools people already use.
Precisely. That's a huge piece. They're supporting things like Android Jetpack XR, Unity, OpenXR, WebXR.
The usual suspect, the big ones.
Exactly. So they're tapping into this massive existing pool of developers. Millions of people already know this stuff.
Which could mean faster app development, more apps maybe.
That's the hope. A quicker, more diverse ecosystem of enterprise apps compared to, say, a totally new system where everyone has to learn from scratch.
Makes sense. But, okay, apps are one thing. For businesses, it's got to fit into their whole IT setup, right?
Yeah.
Managing devices, security, that's non-negotiable.
Oh, absolutely. And that seems to be a core focus for Android XR. Enterprise readiness, they've built in support for mobile device management tools, MDM.
Like Intune, stuff like that.
Exactly. Microsoft Intune, Arbor XR systems. Lots of IT departments already use for phones and tablets.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's big.
Yeah, it means they can potentially use their existing setups, their security policies, to manage these XR devices, too. That lowers a major barrier.
Right, avoids reinventing the wheel for IT.
And then there are the security features, device attestation, Google Play Protect on, the kind of stuff enterprises absolutely need for compliance and data security.
So a company could, in theory, manage a bunch of these headsets using the same basic tools and rules they use for their phones now.
That's the goal. Streamlined adoption.
And you mentioned it's scalable across different hardware types.
Right. From, simple smart glasses maybe for a technician needing hands-free info, all the way to a full VR headset for, complex training simulations. Android XR aims to be that common platform.
So develop an app once, potentially use it across different roles and devices.
That's the idea. Better ROI on software development, more flexibility.
Okay, so the platform sounds promising. Now let's zoom in on some hardware. This Project Muhan, the Google Samsung VRMR headset, that sounds like it's meant to be a flagship device, yeah.
Definitely. It seems positioned right against the high-end stuff like Apple Vision Pro, Meta Quest 3. It's aiming for that premium immersive experience.
In the rumors, the specs sound pretty wild. Super high-res displays, OLEDs or micro OLED.
Yeah, the pixel density numbers being thrown around are, really high, like 3,000 to 3,800 pixels per inch per eye.
Wow. What does that actually mean for the user, though? Why is that important?
It basically kills the screen door effect, where you can kind of see the gaps between pixels.
Oh, yeah, like looking through a mesh.
Right. With densities that high, virtual objects look incredibly sharp, really solid, almost real, which is key if you're using it for hours or for tasks needing fine detail.
Okay, makes sense. And powering this is a new chip, Snapdragon XR2 plus Gen 2.
Yeah, a significant step up in processing power, specifically designed for XR. It handles higher resolutions, smoother frame rates.
Supports more cameras for tracking, that sort of thing.
Exactly. And that translates into, some pretty cool real-world benefits for enterprise users.
Like what? How does that power help?
It basically gets rid of some big limitations of older mobile XR. This chip can handle, and I quote, Room-scale screens, life-size overlays, and virtual desktops, all inside the headset itself.
Meaning, no PC required, standalone.
Standalone. No tethering, much more freedom, more mobility.
Right.
It makes really demanding XR apps like detailed 3D design reviews, complex simulations practical for everyday work, not just special setups.
Okay, that sounds like a leap. Getting rid of the wires and the dedicated PC, that's huge for usability.
Definitely. And it seems Samsung's also focusing on comfort, which is vital if people are meant to wear these for extended periods.
What kind of features are we talking about?
Things like lightweight design, comfy padding, magnetic light seals for a good fit, even automatic IPD adjustment,
IPD?
interpupillary distance, the space between your eyes. Automatic adjustment just makes sure the image is clear and comfortable for each user without fiddling.
Ah, smart. And integration with Samsung's other stuff, presumably.
Expected, yeah. Seamless connection with their phones, watches, etc.
Now the million-dollar question, or maybe €1,000 question, price. Where's this Project Muhan expected to land?
Well, the speculation is hovering somewhere between, say, $945 and $1,420, roughly.
Okay, so not cheap, but maybe less than the very top end.
Exactly. It's an interesting spot. It could be disruptive, offering premium-ish features, but maybe making larger deployments more feasible for businesses compared to, say, the most expensive closed systems.
Accelerate adoption, maybe?
That could be the play. We'll see. Probably around Q3 2025 is the rumor for launch.
Okay, let's circle back to that open ecosystem idea with Android XR. You contrasted it with closed systems. Why is that difference so fundamental for businesses thinking about XR?
Right. Thinking bigger picture for the enterprise. The open approach has some key advantages. First, more hardware choice over time, right? More manufacturers can build for Android XR.
Not locked into one company's vision or pricing?
Exactly. Second, potentially a much wider app selection, maybe even leveraging the Google Play Store down the road. That's a huge possibility.
Wow, yeah.
Third, custom development could be easier, cheaper even, because you tap into that massive pool of existing Android developers.
Using skills they already have.
Right. And finally, it likely integrates better with the Android infrastructure many companies already use. Less friction.
So, summarizing. More hardware options, more apps, easier development, smoother integration. Sounds compelling. What's the downside of a closed system, then, comparatively?
Well, closed systems often offer a really polished experience, very tightly integrated. But the trade-offs can be a smaller app library, especially initially. And, you're kind of locked into that one vendor's roadmap, their pricing, less flexibility.
Vendor lock-in, basically.
Yeah. And you stressed Android XR's enterprise focus from the get-go. The MDM support, the security.
Exactly. Having things like Intune support baked in, strong security like Play Protect that's table stakes for IT departments, it just makes the whole thing more viable, potentially more cost-effective in the long run. Lower TCO, faster ROI, maybe.
Right. Wider hardware choice, easier app dev, compatibility with existing IT tools. It all adds up.
Okay, so we've got this open platform, powerful hardware coming. But the real question for listeners is, how does this actually change work? What can people do with this stuff? Training seems like a big one.
Oh, definitely. Immersive training is a really strong use case. You can create super realistic, interactive, and importantly, safe environments for learning complex tasks.
Like surgery sims or operating dangerous machinery.
Exactly. Or even soft skills like customer service, conflict resolution. You can run through scenarios with AI-driven virtual characters.
Huh. Interesting. And there's data showing this works, right? Better performance, faster learning.
Yeah, studies suggest pretty significant gains, like up to 35% better performance, maybe 20% less training time compared to traditional methods.
We've seen examples already, like Boeing using AR for wiring. Huge productivity jump there. Now, add AI like Gemini into the mix. How does that change XR training?
Well, that's where it gets really dynamic. Gemini could offer like real-time feedback as you're doing the task in VR.
No, try holding it this way.
Sort of. Or it could adapt the scenario based on how you're doing. If you're struggling, maybe it simplifies things or offers hints. If you're acing it, maybe it throws in a curveball.
Personalized adaptive learning.
Exactly. It moves from a fixed simulation to an intelligent tutor. And as hardware gets cheaper and AI gets smarter, this kind of advanced simulation becomes accessible to way more companies, not just giants like Boeing.
Smaller businesses, too. Construction, hospitality, maybe?
For sure. Training on safety protocols, complex customer interactions, all in a risk-free virtual space.
Okay, what about design and prototyping? Sounds like XR could save a lot of time and money compared to building physical models.
Absolutely. Imagine designers and engineers, maybe in different cities, all standing around a full-scale 3D model of a new product in a shared virtual room.
Iterating faster.
Much faster. Making changes, seeing the impact instantly. Less need for physical prototypes means big savings on materials and time.
Companies have used AR for design before, but this sounds like a level up.
Yeah, the higher visual quality, the better interaction with Android XR and devices like Muhan. It just makes those collaborative reviews much more detailed and effective. And again, AI could play a role.
How so?
Maybe Gemini fetching technical specs with a voice command, or even suggesting design tweaks based on engineering principles or past projects.
Hey, Gemini, does this meet the stress requirements, that kind of thing?
Potentially, yeah.
Ugh.
Picture car designers worldwide tweaking a virtual model together in real time. Very powerful.
Okay, manufacturing and maintenance, AR overlays, step-by-step guides. Seems like a natural fit.
Totally. Having instructions, checklists, or diagnostic data appear right in your view. Hands-free.
Yeah.
That's huge for technicians.
And the remote expert idea. Someone experienced guiding a rookie through a repair using AR.
Yeah, that's a killer app.
Yeah.
The expert sees what the technician sees and can draw annotations, point things out right on their view. Companies like Xerox, KPN, Boeing again, they've reported big gains already.
Faster fixes, fewer errors.
Exactly. And Gemini's offline capability could be really valuable here,
Sure.
right? For field workers who might not have reliable internet.
Good point. And this could help with the skills gap, too, capturing expert knowledge.
Precisely. It empowers less experienced workers by giving them guidance when they need it. It basically spreads expertise through the organization.
Logistics, warehousing, another area where hands-free guidance seems obvious.
Right. Think order picking in a warehouse.
Yeah.
AR glasses showing you exactly where to go, what to grab. DHL, Intel. They saw big efficiency bumps with this.
Moving from paper lists to digital guidance.
Exactly. It's that shift to data-driven workflows. And it applies to other field ops too. Utility workers, delivery drivers. Getting the right info at the right time, hands-free.
Okay, collaboration. Beyond just video calls. Immersive meetings. Is that the goal? Less Zoom fatigue.
That's definitely part of the promise. A better sense of presence, feeling like you're actually with your colleagues, even if you're remote. Shared whiteboards, manipulating 3D models together.
Making remote teamwork feel more real.
Exactly. And Gemini could help here too. Real-time translation for global teams, automated meeting summaries, AI helping structure brainstorming.
Huh. AI as a meeting facilitator almost.
Could be. Making remote interaction richer, more effective.
And finally, data visualization. Making complex data easier to grasp.
Yeah, imagine turning spreadsheets and charts into, like, interactive 3D landscapes you can walk through.
Digital twins.
Digital twins are a great example. Or visualizing complex financial data spatially. It can make patterns and insights jump out in ways 2D charts just can't.
Making complex data more intuitive, even for non-experts.
Right. Leading to better, faster decisions across the board. Think a factory manager walking through a virtual version of their plant, seeing performance data overlaid everywhere.
Okay, those are some powerful core applications, but let's push the boundaries a bit. What about some less obvious, maybe more surprising ways XR and AI could boost productivity? You mentioned AI contextual assistance.
Yeah, this is where it gets really interesting, moving towards actual cognitive augmentation.
Meaning
the system isn't just showing you things, it's understanding what you're doing, what you're looking at, and proactively offering help.
based on context.
Exactly.
Right.
Using the headset sensors, Gemini figures out your task and environment. So you could just, look at a component and ask, what's the torque spec for this? And it tells you. Or it notices you're stuck on a step and offers guidance.
Wow. Like an intelligent assistant that sees what you see.
Pretty much. And with offline capabilities. Think complex repairs in remote locations. Or even getting real-time pointers during a negotiation based on sentiment analysis.
Or help in a lab identifying compounds just by looking at them. That's powerful.
It really transforms the headset from a display into an active, intelligent partner.
What about hyper-personalized work environments? Interfaces that adapt to the user.
Yet another fascinating area. Imagine your virtual workspace changing based on your preferences, your cognitive style, maybe even your current focus level or stress, detected by sensors.
Seriously, adapting in real time.
Potentially, yeah. Driven by AI like Gemini learning your personal context, your work patterns. It could optimize how information is presented to reduce strain, boost focus.
Like adaptive dashboards showing only what's relevant right now, or focus modes that minimize distractions automatically.
Exactly. Tailoring the digital environment to the individual's needs in the moment. The ergonomics of information optimized.
Okay, and customer engagement. Sales. How does AI-enhanced XR change things there, beyond just a virtual look-around?
Think truly interactive demos. Customers don't just look. They customize products in XR, maybe guided by an AI avatar acting as a super knowledgeable salesperson.
Like building your own virtual car.
Precisely. We already know AR can cut down returns in e-commerce because people visualize products better. Now add AI guidance and deep personalization.
More engagement, more confidence, maybe higher sales.
That's the idea. Shifting from passive viewing to active participation, co-creation even.
Okay. Complex problem solving. Strategic planning. How does XR help with those really high-level brain tasks?
Letting teams visualize and interact with complex systems in 3D. Think supply chains, organizational structures, market dynamics.
Laid out spatially.
Yeah. Imagine collaborative war games where you model different strategies and AI provides data, simulates outcomes, maybe even plays devil's advocate.
Testing scenarios before committing.
Exactly. Using digital twins of systems to run simulations, see potential impacts. It's like a mental rehearsal for big strategic decisions, but interactive and data-driven.
That could be huge for things like M&A planning or crisis management.
Absolutely. Or urban planning, modeling traffic flows, complex systems made tangible.
And finally, accessibility and inclusivity. This seems really important. How can XR and AI help create more accessible workplaces?
This is potentially transformative. Android XR is focusing on accessibility guidelines, but AI adds so much more. Think real-time speech-to-text for meetings.
For hearing impairments.
Right. Or AI-driven avatars providing sign language translation, highly customizable interfaces for visual needs, auditory descriptions of virtual environments.
Breaking down communication barriers.
Exactly. And enabling remote work for people with mobility issues, tapping into talent pools that might otherwise be excluded. Plus, using XR for empathy training.
To help colleagues understand different perspectives.
Yeah. It's about creating more equitable, inclusive environments where everyone can contribute effectively.
Okay, so underpinning a lot of this, especially the mobile aspects, seems to be the smartphone, specifically the upcoming Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. What's its role in this XR future?
It looks set to be a crucial hub, for processing, connectivity, AI, enhancing the whole XR experience.
Powerful chip expected, right? Optimized for AI.
Yeah, likely a custom Snapdragon 8 Elite for Galaxy, focused on AI. Plus advanced cameras, strong connectivity, maybe Wi-Fi 7, and those on-device Gemini AI features we're seeing already, but enhanced.
So in some cases, the phone could actually be driving the XR experience, like powering simpler AR glasses.
Exactly. That's a key idea. Phone-driven XR. It could make sophisticated AR much more accessible because businesses leverage the powerful phones employees might already have. Cheaper glasses, phone does the heavy lifting.
Like Samsung DeX, but for AR.
Kinda, yeah. A natural evolution. The phone is the engine for spatial computing via lightweight glasses. Big potential for field workers, mobile productivity.
But even with a powerful standalone headset like Project Muhan, the S25 Ultra still adds value. It's not just one or the other.
Oh, definitely not. It enhances the standalone experience through that ecosystem integration. Think using the phone as a quick companion screen, maybe typing notes, managing files easily, or using it for quick calls without taking the headset off. It fills the gaps, leverages the strengths of both devices.
Seamless file transfer, maybe using the phone's precise input.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or offloading certain AI tasks to the phone. It's about the synergy between the devices.
And this ties into the broader Samsung ecosystem, right? Smart things, multi-control. How does XR fit into that?
It pushes towards that idea of ambient computing in the workplace.
Ambient computing.
Yeah, where your tools and information just flow seamlessly across devices, adapting to what you're doing. XR extends that digital environment into 3D space.
So controlling smart lights in your office from VR, or dragging a file from your phone right into your virtual workspace.
Concepts like that, yeah. Reducing friction, making workflows that cross physical and digital boundaries feel smooth and natural. XR becomes another integrated part of your digital environment, not a separate silo.
Okay, let's tie this all together with Gemini AI. It really sounds like it's more than just a feature. It's like the intelligent fabric weaving through this whole Android XR vision.
I think that's a great way to put it. It's the intelligence layer aiming to make XR interactions feel, well, human, natural, intuitive.
Getting away from clunky controllers or complex menus.
Right. The vision is more towards, just look and ask, using simple voice commands, natural hand gestures, maybe even eye movement to control things. driven by AI understanding.
Flattening the learning curve, making it easier for anyone to pick up.
That's a huge goal. Making XR less like operating complex machinery and more like just interacting naturally.
And it's not just about understanding commands, but understanding context and being proactive.
Exactly. Gemini figuring out what you need based on what you're looking at, what you're doing, maybe even your past behavior, that personal context idea.
So it offers help before you even ask.
Potentially, yes. Anticipating your needs. Providing relevant info just in time. It shifts XR from a passive tool to an active, intelligent partner, augmenting your abilities.
Those examples you gave earlier really drive it home. The real-time translation, the object recognition for task guidance, pulling up CAD details. It feels like it could really democratize knowledge in a company.
That's a key potential outcome, yeah. Giving everyone access to relevant information and intelligent guidance right when they need it, leveling the playing field in terms of expertise.
Okay, this all sounds incredibly promising, almost futuristic, but let's get practical. What are the hurdles? What challenges will businesses face actually implementing this stuff?
Oh, there are definitely challenges. Cost is always one, right?
Yeah.
Hardware, software, integration.
Technical complexity,
Yeah.
getting it to work with existing systems.
For sure. And user acceptance is huge. Are the headsets comfortable? Is the software easy to use? Is there resistance to changing how people work?
Change management is always tricky.
Always. But as we've discussed, Android XR seems designed to tackle some of these. The open platform, potentially more competitive hardware like Muhan, Gemini making it intuitive, the MDM support easing IT burden. These could help mitigate those hurdles.
So not insurmountable, but requires planning.
Definitely. Phased rollouts, pilot programs focusing on high ROI areas, that's crucial. Test, learn, build internal support.
And how do you measure the success? What's the ROI look like?
You need clear metrics, both quantitative time saved, errors reduced, costs cut, productivity up.
Citing specific numbers from pilots helps there.
Absolutely. But also qualitative benefits, better employee engagement, smarter decisions, improved customer satisfaction, maybe enhanced safety. Those are important too, even if harder to put a dollar figure on immediately.
So define success upfront, track consistently.
Yeah, and don't forget what you might call opportunity enablement. What new things can you do with XR that you couldn't before? New markets, new services. That strategic value is huge.
So for businesses listening, wanting to get ready, what are the key takeaways? What should they be doing now?
I'd say, first, start exploring now.
Right.
Identify potential use cases in your specific business.
Don't wait.
Don't wait. Invest in small pilot programs. Test the waters. Gather data. Find those internal champions who get excited about it.
Develop an actual strategy.
Yes, a cohesive XR strategy linked to your business goals. And focus on digital literacy. Train your people. Prioritize security and privacy from day one. Think ecosystem, how headsets, phones, AI work together.
And maybe partner with experts.
Definitely collaborate with experienced partners if you need to. The main thing is businesses that start designing workflows for this interconnected, intelligent XR world. They're likely going to have a real competitive edge.
Well, this has been, wow, a really deep dive. The potential here with Android XR, Project Muhan, Gemini, it feels like a genuine shift is coming.
Yeah,
Spatial computing, more natural interaction.
it really does. And maybe the final thought for you, our listener, is this. Where in your organization, in your daily workflows, could these technologies fundamentally change things for the better? Think beyond today's limits. What possibilities could this open up for how you work?
Yeah, look beyond the current way of doing things.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The potential is just immense. Really exciting stuff to think about. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us.